Test, test, test. We are good to go. Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Loki looks like he wants to hop up here in a second. You guys probably, yeah, there he is. Yeah. Hope you guys are all having a good day. There's a lot of news to talk about today. Obviously, Bitcoin did not go the way we wanted. It did have a little bit of a pullback, and we had talked about that, I believe, 2 days ago. So we're going to be talking about the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, also hopping into Bitcoin here, and crypto. And then on top of that, we're going to be looking at some news as well here. Just a little bit kind of explaining what's going on, some stuff going on with the Congress, it looks like, some Yahoo news here in Lyft. Just kind of feeding into that overall narrative that we've been talking about, the slowing economy, and kind of seeing what that may mean over the next few months, okay? Loki's climbing over the top of my chair. There you go. Let me give him a little bit of a scratch very fast, okay? There you go. I think he'll be okay now. There you go, boy. Okay. So first of all, I just wanted to talk to you guys about two things before we kind of hop over here to this billionaires tax. Or actually, in fact, let's just talk about the billionaires tax first. So if you guys were here watching the State of the Union the other day, you guys saw that Joe Biden wanted to raise some taxes here on billionaires. It's debatable whether you guys should be whether the government should be doing that or not. I mean, I'm kind of for it, but again, some people aren't. Doesn't really matter too much. But you can see right here that it's pretty much not going to pass at all just because, of course, Republicans are in the House. A lot of the stuff we had heard about from President Biden's agenda, it's still not going to get passed, even though he had, I guess, a decent speech. I wouldn't say it was good, just more of a meh, okay speech. But, a lot of the stuff isn't going to happen. I think Wall Street bankers are just going to say, hey, it's not going to happen, so we're not going to price that into the market, which is a good thing for the market overall, right? The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today, this one isn't like massive because it's only like a few thousand, 1,600 workers. But even Yahoo, guys, is starting to lay off some workers now. And I'm curious to see how many more layoffs are coming because it seems like everything is just starting off with tech and it's slowly moving outward of tech. I mean, I'm talking about very slowly, but tech is still getting hit hard by layoffs. So I'll be curious to see what actually goes down with Yahoo over the next few months, especially because it seems like all these ad revenue sides of businesses, whether it be Google, Yahoo, excuse me, guys, sorry, burping. All these ad revenue sides of companies, they're all thinking, having guidance that there's going to be lower ad revenue for the next few quarters. Okay, again, showing off a little bit of a slowing down of the economy. Last thing here, as far as news, then we'll kind of hop on into the markets. So I actually didn't get a chance to look at earnings today. I was busy. I was outside with Loki and doing some other stuff I actually don't remember. Buying groceries. I've been making my own bread homemade, and tomorrow I'm making some more homemade bread. So I got stuff for sandwiches and grilled cheese and a whole bunch of fun stuff. But anyway, it said Lyft shares tanked during after-hours trading after an issuing of weak guidance in its earnings report on Thursday. Lyft said it expects to make roughly $975 million in revenue in the fiscal first quarter of 2023, lower than the $1.09 billion analysts expected, according to the street account. Okay, so again, we're still seeing stuff slow down. It's kind of been building up on top of all these tech earnings we had last week on February 2nd, where we had Amazon, Google, and Apple, where all of them didn't actually have good earnings. Apple just a beast, so it's still continuing to move up a little bit higher. So I mean, we can watch this for a second very fast. Let me make some moves here very fast. I think it's worth watching just so you guys have a clear understanding of why they're thinking this. Oh, Lyft was down 20%. Yowza. Again, Lyft and Uber, they're not profitable companies, and that's one of the big concerns that they have for those two. All right, let's watch this very fast. Please don't be an ad. Please don't be an ad. Please don't be an ad.
We are seeing Lyft shares absolutely crater in the after hours. They are down some 20%, and this likely has to do with the guidance. But let me give you the top and bottom line numbers first. It's a very small beat on the top line. Revenue coming in at $1.18 billion versus $1.16 expected. We've got an adjusted EPS of 74 cents. Unclear if that's comparable, but it is a bit of a messy quarter when it comes to that guidance as well, which is likely what investors are trying to sort through right now. The revenue forecast falling short of estimates and adjusted EBITDA guidance between $5 and $15 million. Again, unclear if this is comparable to street expectations because it includes a change to insurance renewal timing. I did get a chance to speak to co-founder and president John Zimmer not long ago. He said that the supply side recovered faster than they expected, and that is actually weighing on the P&L as they sort out the dynamics. He said, though, that prices are coming down for consumers. This is a stock, Scott, that is up more than 50% year to date, coming from a very, very low base, but clearly a disappointment here, especially after Uber raised the bar just yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And that's a great point.
Okay, so you kind of hear it there. The guidance isn't looking too good. They're saying they're not going to be making as much money for this quarter. Fair enough. We'll see if they find a way to turn that around anytime soon. But just like most assets out there, they're still okay for the year. I mean, they're still up for the year, right? As long as you bought at the beginning of the year, right? Okay, so going over here to Bitcoin. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Max. Hope you guys are both doing very, very well today. As far as Bitcoin's concerned, this is a 15-minute chart. You can definitely see today was just not the best. We finally had a little bit of a bottoming out here. And you can see it with the stock market as well. Everything just seemed to plummet today, maybe except for Tesla. Even Google was down 4.5%. That's no joke, right? Let's go over here to the daily chart very fast. You guys can see we finally broke down below that support level that we've been talking about. And I think we started back last week sometime. We had talked about, specifically on the 4-hour chart, how we really wanted to stay above the 50 moving average here in the 20 if we wanted to see some strong moves. We originally fell down below the 20 here after falling down below it here, but still holding above the 50. First sign of weakness here. Second sign of weakness is when we actually started to stay below it for a consistent amount of time, unfortunately. And that's okay. We just saw the stock market come down a little bit more too, right? But we did actually have a breakdown below that 22,292 support level that we've been talking about before. And now we're just trying to stay above a certain Fibonacci level. Actually, I don't even know if we closed above it or not. Let's go back over here to a retracement. Let's drop this down a little bit more. And we need to log on. So, okay. Let's go over here to maybe the 4-hour chart. So it looks like we did end up closing down below it, but the support level that we're looking at right now seems to be the 200 moving average on that 4-hour chart there. What I'd actually do just to make sure is I'd actually go over here. I'd move this down to fib levels based on log scale and see if that changed anything. Yeah, we still closed down below it here. So maybe if we have an opportunity to have a little bit of a day trade, we might be able to get back up here towards 22,173. A very small move. I'm really not going to be buying at these levels, guys. I'm still going to be waiting to see how much further Bitcoin wants to go. Because the more I look at this, go back over here to the daily chart. I think we have a lot more room to come down if the stock market's also going to be testing out some lows. I'm not saying we're going all the way back down here to 16,000, 15,000, nothing like that. But I do think we could possibly come back down here just to test out the 50-day moving average over the next few days. Because what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. After Friday, Bitcoin gets to do whatever it wants. And usually once Bitcoin starts this downward trend, it tends to come back down a little bit or quite a bit. And then it starts to level back off again. You know, I think sometimes I can get rid of this very fast. We love these upward moves, but we all know that Bitcoin definitely can have these big tanker of a days. And then we kind of settle off, and then we're kind of happy again until we have another run up. But this is FTX, so let's not talk about that. That's not a technical move. Technically, it's not a technical event, right? More of a news event. But what do you call most of the time we forget that Bitcoin does have a lot of these nasty moves that can happen over a few period of days. And going back over here to March of 2022. Again, it's not like we're looking at something crazy, but from the top to bottom, it was around 15%. I think we could be looking at something like that as far as Bitcoin's concerned. Just a smaller move that takes us back down to some of these support levels down here. It could take us right back down here to 20,400. That's really where I would want to start buying, trying to hope that it would either be bouncing off of the 200 daily moving average or the 50 daily moving average. But I want to see what the market looks around that time. Most of you guys are probably having these support levels and these support levels on your chart right now. So I think some of you guys may just try to buy in here. For now, I'm being cautious. I really don't want to buy at these levels just because we've continued to pop up. And as we kind of take a look at the NASDAQ here, maybe I can go to the weekly chart here. Well, this should be fine. As we go to the Dow Jones here, everything seems to be at major levels of resistance. And while, I want to see a breakout, the breakout doesn't seem to be happening at this point. So when we do start to see some stronger moves from the normal indices like the Dow and stuff like that, I'd be more willing to buy at Bitcoin. you guys know I didn't really have much over the past few days because I had sold a lot of my crypto off earlier when crypto was like at $18,500. I did miss a lot of the run up here. I took some smaller swing trades, but not as big as I did when Bitcoin was back down at $16,000, $17,000. So I missed down some money there. As far as some of these indexes are concerned, though, NASDAQ, again, showing some weakness here. Not really, again, like, just showing some resistance here at some weakness here at some common resistance levels. Nothing too crazy. I think what we have to be prepared for is coming next week. What happens if we start to break down below some of these uptrends? Because the market and the earnings haven't been terrible. They haven't been terrible. They've just been meh. And usually a meh type of environment, as long as Jerome Powell doesn't really do anything crazy, which I don't think he can because, of course, we don't have another rate hike for a couple months. Perhaps we just come back down and we start testing out the 200 or the 20 here as far as the NASDAQ is concerned. But we do break down and we just kind of go back into more of a sideways action where, maybe we end up falling back just down here. We use this as a local top. And then we're probably going sideways for a little bit unless we have some big news. Because earnings season is pretty much over. We had all the big dogs. It didn't really hurt us too much. Mostly what all the earnings did was slow down our momentum and cause us to not go up, but just go sideways. And I think that's an okay thing for now. Of course, you're going to see different assets falling like a rock. I mean, heck, Google was down 5% today, or 4.5%. That's a pretty scary thing to see. But, Bitcoin was only down about 4 or 5% today. Not bad. Last thing here is SPY. Of course, another opportunity for a breakdown. I'm not too concerned right now, everybody, but that's partly because I don't really have many positions open as far as swing trades. Excuse me. I was just talking to Babyfish this morning. And he was asking me how I was doing, and I said I was tired because I had stayed up late last night trading BGB. You guys know that's one of my favorite crypto coins out there, and I had checked out my I was checking out the BitGet app last night just to check on my portfolio over there. And I noticed that BGB had kind of skyrocketed to new highs. So I took an opportunity here to scale out a little bit, and I guess the chart's not too long. I bought it way back over here in September, like 2 years ago at 6 cents. But this thing had definitely popped up a little bit here, so I was selling some off and buying some back. I basically sold it pretty high, around 28, 29 cents, and I bought it back around 26.5, which is, I'm taking a loss on that right now, but basically I just wanted to accumulate more tokens here. But yeah, so I'd stayed up really late trading that type of stuff. But anyway, guys, you're seeing, besides Bitcoin falling down, you can see Ethereum breaking down as well. This was something I did not want to have to see today. Ethereum broke down on this nice little pennant that we've been looking at. Not pennant, but definitely broke down here. That next level of support for Ethereum is probably down here on 1500. I'm hoping we can hold that level here. Otherwise, we're probably coming all the way back down here to at least 1450. But most likely coming all the way back down here towards 1350, which would be a pretty strong loss as far as Ethereum is concerned. So again, I'm hoping these sideways movements can hold on. You saw stuff like Matic come back down a little bit more, again, kind of hitting some levels of resistance after really having a pretty nice time, really nice rally. The longer we stay sideways, the more opportunities for a lot of these different altcoins to continue to break down. Dogecoin had a pretty painful day, right? The breakdown that occurred today. Still, I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, we had multiple breakdowns, looks like today. XRP did okay. It's held up above the 50. A lot of stuff, though, showing that weakness here. And you don't like to see that weakness here, frankly. Because people get panicked. They freak out a little bit more. It's not as fun a time as when the market's going up, obviously. But you can see Ethereum Classic also broke down, being held up by a Fibonacci, a moving average. Solana broke down right there. A change of character right there as well. Basically means we might have a reversal forming. Sand, right? Still holding strong as far as support levels here, but looking like they could be testing out some of those support levels pretty soon. BNB also had a breakdown. So a lot of altcoins today basically had breakdowns. Some did not. I'm patiently waiting to see how all this breaks out, but I feel no incentive to really buy today at all. Maybe over the weekend here. Maybe a day trade if it kind of suits me, but I feel no reason that I need to be buying at this point in time. UFO coin showing some weakness here. XLM showing some weakness here. Sushi, weakness. ADA, weakness. Spell, weakness. I mean, like everything, right? Everything's just had a really bad day. Some coins more than other, obviously. But what I'm looking at right now, short-term Bitcoin, Hopefully we can stay above the 4-hour. Maybe we can pop our way back up to 22,400 or so, and then eventually get knocked back down below that support level that we're looking at right now. All right, there we go. Yeah, because normally you guys know after a pretty sizable dip, I do like to buy the 20 moving average breakout on the 15-minute charts. I thought about it here, but I knew I was going to be streaming, so I really couldn't do much. But so far, I mean, it really hasn't really amounted to anything, but I'm hoping we can at least have a little bit of a reversal here, back up towards like 22,200-ish or so. Let's see. And hey, Puma, happy to see you back as well, my man. If I read it correctly, Bed Bath & Beyond avoided bankruptcy. Do you see it going up at all? I bought a lot at 230. It might be able to. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you unless I actually... Let's go to FinViz. Unless I actually saw what they did. So this is more of a fundamental question here. There's some technicals here. The price has been coming back down. It looks like after the big pop, you're probably going to see some more short sellers here. A short of 45%. Yowza. You said you bought it at 230, so you're still up. That's good. Let's see if the news. Let's see. I don't see anything much here about bankruptcy. Let's go to news. More. Past 7 days. Ah, okay. Bed Bath & Beyond closes 150 more stores in effort to avoid bankruptcy. See the list. So it announced Wednesday they would close 150 more stores. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm reading. Can I just move this? Okay, what? It doesn't matter. Bed Bath & Beyond announced Wednesday it would close 150 more stores in the last-ditch effort to avoid bankruptcy. Last-ditch effort. So they're not safe just yet. This is another opportunity for them to try to get out of it. So that's the thing right now. The move comes a little over a week after the home good chain announced the closure of 87 stores, including all of its Harmon beauty stores and several Buy Baby locations in 30 states. I never heard of that before. Closed 62 Bed Bath & Beyond and 6 Buy Baby stores. I don't even know what a Buy Baby store is. On top of its third and largest wave of store closures this year, the retailer also said it hoped to raise $1 billion in funding and public stock offering. Ooh, public stock offerings kill stocks. Because basically what they're doing is they're just selling stock at whatever price onto the market, which means there's a flooding of new shares, a flooding of supply, and that flooding of supply, and the demand's not going to be going up during that time, so there's going to be a panic. Let me see if I can find something that has something like that. It's an event like that. Biotech will usually do that. Biotechnology, they're infamous for doing these types of things. Let's go to charts, and I just want to see one where it plummets a lot in one day. Plummet. Maybe this one. So ASIT, there might have been either bad earnings report or an offering. I don't know. Let me see. See. It's had offerings, so okay. Addison Bio and Inc. announces proposed public offering, so it didn't offer, but it was proposed, and apparently that day it fell down like 37%, right? And I guess a few days earlier it was actually up quite a bit too, under inducement grant. So it's not a good sign. It's a flooding of new shares onto the market. You never want to see that happen. So yes, it could continue to pop up here, but you're really hoping for a big news event. It is very risky to be in this trade at all. Usually I would say if you're kind of buying into this, or you're not buying into it, but like you're buying the stock, you're really kind of having more fun than relying on the technical analysis behind the scenes, just because since there's like 45% short sellers on it right now, I mean, that thing can really go up, but it's going to need some type of catalyst to really get it going for you, okay? So when we see BBY, one more B, there you go. So 15-minute chart popped up towards the end of the day here, but let's just go to the dailies. There you go. Right. It's had a couple pops up above $6 today, or excuse me, over the past few weeks. You'd be hoping for another big pop there. Usually when you're trading something like this, though, I mean, it's going to be so hard to just have a stop loss because you can see a lot of times it just kind of grinds and it has some pops in the middle. But the way I'm looking at it right now, I mean, if you could have a support level around 209 for maybe a stop loss, but I mean, that's going to be a big loss if you did buy a lot of shares on this, right? Or if you bought a lot of shares. 15-minute chart, let's zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, after the big rally there, it kind of closed down. I would say if it does break out, it'll probably break out tomorrow or Monday. And then from there, you can kind of see if it tries to go back up towards 327 or so, maybe even up here towards 4. I wouldn't try to hope that it comes all the way back up here, though. I would be happy if it came back up to $3, up to $3.20, or even up here to $4. I'd be plenty happy to sell all of mine out here and maybe keep 10 or 20%, hold 10 to 20% and see if it goes higher for fun. But if you just want to like lock in those gains, probably best to wait a couple days and see where it goes. Other than that, just have a reliable stop loss in case things don't go your way because of how volatile all this is definitely going to be. There you go. No, probably best to keep that open, right? And pop this open here too. And hey, the real transporter, happy to see you. Hey, Stefan, can I check out VRA when I got a chance? Do you mean me or you? Or like if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But let me know. I like VRA for long term too. Cool coin. Hi Mike, I'm back. Missed the run up. Fighting the urge to FOMO in. I mean you can FOMO in right now and try to buy the dip. I'm just more hesitant here because I'm not. I kind of want to see if we go down a little bit more over the weekend because the support levels that we're looking at. Let me go to the daily chart. Right. The first one is right here that we just tapped on earlier today. That next one really is down here towards $20,500, or you can think about it as the 50-day moving average if you just don't want to have those lines there. Other than that, I mean, let's go over here very fast. Right, you're kind of buying in the middle of the zone. I don't like to really buy in the middle of the zone. I'd like to buy it towards the support levels, or preferably at these like really, really low support levels, like way down here at $18,500. So I'm just basically waiting. But I'm basically waiting. Some of the stuff I've been looking at today is, maybe better to do it like this. So let's just do it that. There you go. Okay. I've been trying to zoom out a little bit of like what we've been seeing. And I'm like, I like where the market's at. I don't think the market's necessarily just going to crash back down. But I do think we need to have a significant cool off here and then go sideways for a little bit, build up a new pattern, then have another breakout here. And that's what I like to see. Because I think eventually, whenever we do break above this like $25,000 breakout, I think we have a clear shot up back to $30,000. And I think that'd be a really, really robust move. For me, at this point, if I wanted to work myself up for that strategy, I would still be taking dollar cost averages out right now, like specifically for a trade, like, buy $50 a Bitcoin a day here, here, here. Honestly, I'd probably buy it with another altcoin here, but Bitcoin's always the safest, because if you start dollar cost averaging now, Bitcoin may only fall down like 5, 6, 7, maybe 10% more, where your altcoins might fall down 15, 20, 30% during that same time frame, right? But the way I see it, if I can get, do I have my tool belt up here? Not tool belt, but this thing. Let's go over here. Some of you guys saw my short today. There we go. For now, I mean, let's do this here. Let's go with fib levels. There you go. Let's get rid of the green lines here. Let's get rid of that green, the green line that's hidden right here. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Taking away everything off the charts besides this little indicator on the bottom, which you guys don't have to pay attention to. I could legitimately see Bitcoin continuing to fall back down here, pivot a little bit, come back down, pivot a little bit, come back down, all the while doing some stuff, and then some breakout occurring over here. And that's what I like to see. But I am really just waiting on the news right now to maybe break us out here or somewhere earlier. I don't want to open up positions right now. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. I am just so out of it today. Specifically because usually after having these really nice run-ups, we do give a lot of it back. And if I go back a little bit more here, let's remove all the drawings. Last good run-up we had was over here. I wish there was a ruler tool over here that actually just let me show it up. There we go. So after this run-up, we gave back around 26%. After this run-up, we gave back up around 20%. I'm not going to talk about this one because that was related to FTX, and again, that's that was something completely different than just your day-to-day Bitcoin moves. This one gave up around 11%, or you could think about it in terms of how do I say this? That move was around 19%, so that was a move of $3,000. This move was a move of around 2,000, close to about oh gosh, my brain's gonna fart today. Let's see, 3,000. Yeah, about 2,000. Yeah, about 60% or so of the move was given back. Okay, we can try that again right here, or again, sorry, that's FTX. So this move up here was about $4,000. It gave up around $4,600. So it actually gave up more than 100% on this move. On this one, yeah, we can go all the way from the bottom here to the top. Actually, just these small moves. It went up 4,000 points right here. It gave back about 3,000. Usually these big swings give up a lot of the momentum back. So I don't want to trade too high up here, thinking that it might come all the way back. So if Bitcoin itself came back up from these lows to highs here, around 56% or around like 8,600. You know, if I was going to do 50% of that, around 4,000, that really brings us back down to at least $20,000. Maybe if we go back to like 20% down as well, then we start thinking about 18,500 or so, maybe kind of back to around this level of support. But for me right now, I'm not taking the risk into getting in here unless you wanted to do some smaller, lower risk strategies. That's the way I'm kind of considering it at this point in time. But for now, it seems to be day trading is something that I'd rather be doing at this point. Any divergences that we need to worry about? No, nothing here. MFI, that's one, but that's not too important. We had a big one there, that didn't work out, so that's fine. So that's good. Channels. We have a channel of support coming up over here. It looks like around 21,440. That's not too bad. Again, that's just where we had the green line though, so it's not crazy. Let's go right here. Let's put that back up here. There we go. But for now, just simply waiting and watching to see how this market reacts. Oh, but I did put out a video literally today talking about FOMO. Oh no, I think it might actually. I don't think I've actually posted it yet. I probably will post it tomorrow. Do you think Bitcoin will have a pump in the end of the week? I think we could have a pump. I don't know if it's going to break the resistance levels that we were just trying to break a few days ago, though. That's what my concern is. I think eventually we can actually have a little bit of a rebound. I don't think we're probably going to get back above $23,000. I think we can get close enough to it, maybe 22,800, maybe 22,500 here. And then we start to kind of come back down. If we have some really big news, that could be a help for us. But let me go back over to this 4-hour chart. I can definitely see us having a bounce off the 200. But once we start getting back up into here, this zone, where we have to deal with the 20 and 50 moving averages on the 4-hour chart, I think things get a little bit more choppy, a little bit more risky. Just too risky, if you ask me. Sorry, guys. Loki has his Loki put his head in my lap, and now he's just looking at me, wanting head scratches here. Yeah, you want to show everybody your pretty face, Loki? Come here. Oh, I have one treat for him too. There you go. See, Loki. There you go. All right. But yeah, and you can see we've already had a trend reversal now. We're not making higher highs anymore. After this was back on Saturday, we started to give it up a little bit more, and we started to make new lows. And once we started to make these new lows here, low after low after low, and then finally breaking down below this low, right there, you saw the weakness really come in. A long candle to break down below this former low, and now we have to worry about the lows right down here around 21,600 or so. Definitely not where we want to be, though, guys. This is not a good sign. There we go. All right. What's going on, Michael? Tuned in late, watching Cryptosaurus. Forgot you were going to be live. Oh, no worries, guys. I haven't watched Cryptosaurus in such a long time. I need to check out his channel. He's a funny guy. It always makes me wonder what I'm gonna look like when I'm going bald. What do you think about Veracity? They have been doing good last few weeks. I would say day trading. I always get worried when the overall market starts to go down. I don't really want to do any swing trades during that time. I'm just like playing bit by bit by bit. Like I told you, my BGB, that thing started to skyrocket yesterday before Bitcoin was going down, and I was like, oh, I better take this opportunity to sell some off and then buy some more lower so I can accumulate more tokens, right? Plus take a little bit of profit off the side. But baby steps as far as these are concerned, and by baby steps I just mean day trading. Can I do some TA on ABT? Let me go over to the daily chart then first. ABT. Anything good happening here? No, not at all. Okay. Oh, that's what was causing the issue, the 50. Okay. I'd say you might be coming back down below 106, but the way I'm looking at this right now, this would be interesting if you wanted to buy some puts, maybe around $100 strike price. I would wait off on them. I would wait before taking the puts right now though, because look at this. I think eventually you're going to have to deal with this 20 and the 200. I think sometime either next week or the week after, that's what you're going to have to figure out, and I can try to help you here. We're going to break down below this Fibonacci retracement level and the 20 and the 200 for a pretty significant move to the downside, probably bringing it back down to 103, 104. And that'd be an interesting move. But normally, let's see, we have some pretty big moves in breaking down below the 20. Decent 50, yeah. Usually we don't do too well around these moving averages. They're usually pretty robust. That one's not too bad. That one's it didn't break out actually. Let's see. Here's some support, some big moves there, some big moves there. I would say, this might be a good opportunity if you wanted to buy some puts here. Trying to time it for when it breaks down below both the 20 and the 200 here. Let me go back to the daily though. Yeah, it's almost about to break down below the 200 right now. That's actually the support level it's using. After that, you're about to have a death cross between the 20 and the 50 here. Then eventually it's going to come down between the 20 and the 200. That just spells it's going to have a pretty significant move down, probably to at least 104. If you really want to go aggressive on it, 100. So maybe even just a 105 strike price or a 103 strike price. I don't know what the strike options are on this one. But I could see this being pretty good. Let me go over here for you very fast. I wonder, since I have this now, well, I've had it for a while. I just don't use it as much. No flow for it. Let's reset. No flow. No flow for it. Never mind. But excuse me. I could see this being a good opportunity to buy some puts. Probably 2 weeks out usually is what I like to do if I'm going to play a swing like this. But I would say just kind of watch it pretty closely, probably on the 15 as it approaches the 200 daily moving average. Once you start to see it break down below that, I would probably take an opportunity there. I'd buy it 2 weeks out though, so in case it bounces, you're still not going to be panicking through that movement, right? That way it won't be too volatile. It's not likely to be losing 20% a day, 50% a day, then making 80% the next day. You don't want to deal with that volatility. It's too freaking scary right now. So I'd probably do it for 2 weeks out though. But yeah, I mean, this thing is primed to go down. You've already had the death cross here between the 20 and the 200. That's 20 and the 50. You can already see, you're seeing the trend start to slowly go down here. No, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. And hey, Moon, George RS Rect. Oh, what do you do, Moonier? What's up, Mike? I won $520 scratch off. What crypto do you buy? Oh, would you buy? Oh, geez. I'd probably do it into a dollar cost averaging plan, putting it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then probably something like like 20% into Bitcoin, Ethereum, higher risk for down the road if you want to hold it for a long time. I would just say the classics that I like that are heavy, higher risk, but still have a good market cap and are kind of stable. Matic and Ethereum Classic are usually some pretty good opportunities that I like. You can choose a dollar cost average them in, or you can choose to bulk buy it all at once right now. I'm more of a fan of dollar cost averaging at like maybe a $50 a week for the next few months, see where it goes. That's my type of strategy though. What are my thoughts on the CPI report? I've seen some worries that it might come in higher than expected. I mean, so far, guys, we've been doing very good as far as the inflation reports have been concerned. Overall, guys, like I think it was ever since October, I think it was, things have been getting better. Now, there is most likely going to be a point in time where we start to stabilize just a little bit more and we're not looking as crazy. I think that most likely doesn't happen until the summer. I would say this summer. Because if we look at let me see if I can actually find a chart so I'm not just like, I'm imagining stuff in my head, but I know obviously you guys can't just imagine what's in my head. Yeah, okay, inflation chart, CPI. You just have a regular chart for me to use? Please, regular chart. No, okay, tables. No. Here's something, trading economics is something, okay. 5 years? Can we do a bar chart though, column? Okay. You see how we've been coming back down bit by bit? I would say, I can't figure out what day that was. There's a chart on TradingView about this. How would I do this? February, December, September. I'm trying to think about what months these were in. If you guys can see this right here, that flatness I think is where the months where that flatness starts is I think when we start to deal with some more issues here. So we might actually have 1 or 2 more months of good CPI reports until we start to hit these numbers here. The forecast for January looks to be, let's see, 214. I don't think that's the. Oh, sorry, the forecast right here. Jesus, guys. Forecast is 6.3% actual. I could still see it being around like 6.1, 6.2, 6.3. I'd be surprised if it was harder based on how everything has been going down. And I think they just said that egg prices are going to be going down here pretty soon too. That'd be a big help for the food. Let me just go over here to news. Let's see. No. I think I probably just saw it on CNBC, so let me just cut here. Oh, there, it was right there. It was right there. Wholesale prices have collapsed. Why consumers may soon see relief. Okay, this may help us out down the road, but probably not until next month. To me, there hasn't been any reason to suspect that we're going to have some really high inflation numbers here. Maybe I'll say this. Energy prices have started to go back up. Maybe that makes it more likely that we're not under expectations. Maybe we just meet expectations this time. Because if we go back over here to the AAA gas prices, we haven't checked this out in a while. But no, I just want to see gas prices. What happened to just looking at gas prices? Oh. Wait, what? So it doesn't work in America? I don't understand what's going on with AAA. Okay. No gas prices here. But basically, gas prices have been going back up. I've been noticing that maybe that has a little bit of a negative impact on inflation. And I think that did really start off at the beginning of the year. And hey, Alex, how's it going? It's going pretty well. A long day here today. I put out a tutorial for you guys today, talking over a bunch of indicators that I've been talking to you guys about over the past few days and how to use them. I think it's like, check it out if you guys haven't already. I think, Alex, you've already commented on it, or maybe one of the other ones. It's a 35-minute long tutorial for all of you guys, so you guys can see if you actually want to take a course that's multiple hours long. And hey, PHX, hope you're doing well. Made over 100% today on my put options on Microsoft, feeling great towards these next couple weeks. So far, we are seeing a lot of weakness here. It'll be fun to see if there's any news that can actually continue the move downward so everybody can get a little bit more of an opportunity to buy some assets up. Do I think crypto staking will be banned in the United States, or is this the case of Kraken doing staking inappropriately? They did it inappropriately, but I think there's an opportunity for the SEC and the government to use that as a catalyst to start a process to getting staking banned. So the way I see it here, it's not that staking is some really bad thing or it's some super risky thing, although some platforms do make it more risky. I think Kraken failed to list something as a security, so they broke a pretty simple rule that they shouldn't have broken, basically. And they're going to pay the big old fine for, I think that's over like $200 million fine. The problem, I think, is, and I don't really see it too much as a problem. Again, I don't have a tinfoil thing here, but the tinfoil premium candle that smells like a cologne here, you guys can't even see it, even though I'm balancing it on my head. Okay, whatever. My tinfoil hat theory here is, again, what's the big issue that we have talked about a lot over the past couple of years? Well, it's banks. A lot of people like you and me, we used to keep money in traditional banks. This could be investment banks like TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Fidelity, whatever. Or it could just be regular bank accounts like Chase. What other banks out there? I use Chase. Wells Fargo, USA Bank, credit unions, whatever. We kind of we used to keep our money in there. Well, now, again, a lot of us keep our money in Robinhood accounts, BitGet, Binance, Ethereum, and all of that money that's sloshing around in all those accounts is money that's not in other investment opportunities, whether it's like the TD Ameritrades or your traditional bank accounts. I think the less money that is on exchanges, banks feel that that's going to be a great opportunity for them to make some more money. Because, guys, think about it. If I go to Binance right now, or I don't even know, Binance. Well, let's see, Binance. Here. Binance Earn. So DeFi staking. Yeah. So, I could earn, returns on this. And, maybe it's a 3.5%. People may not think that's a lot. But guess what? That's way more than any bank is going to give you. So they don't like that. They can't compete with these rates, or more, they're choosing not to compete with these rates, okay? So I think that's why you're not seeing, I think that's why you're going to see eventually that staking is banned in the United States. It may be available in other countries, but I do eventually think that staking will most likely be banned. But I do think once everything is finalized, I think there'll be another version of staking that's just like hold your crypto here and you get a certain percent back every year. I think that's gonna stay, but the normal process of staking, I think it's eventually gonna go away here. Eventually, probably next few years, scaled out. Hey Tony, we got blasted today. I'm glad I took some profit to the top. It's hard hitting the sell button, guys. Remember, it's better to sell and lock in some profits and have some money still in the game. So if it keeps on going up, you can still be like, okay, I'm still making money. But once you sell, and the price goes down a little bit, like, oh, wow, I'm glad I sold a little bit off, or I sold all of it off, It kind of helps you manage your risk and your emotions there. So definitely don't be afraid to hit that sell button, especially if you made a nice little profit. Just make sure to stick with your plans. Because again, if you guys were going off of, and this is one example, not every example is going to be this clean, so to speak, right? That's not the button I'm looking to push. This should be fine. Let's close that up for now. If you guys were going to do your typical Fibonacci extensions that I like to do, right? Let's get a magnet on here, go all the way down. Wow, look at that. We hit a nice resistance level right there. It also kind of matched up with the resistance levels we were looking at over here. Why not sell a little bit off? And, just in case, I sold some off here, right? And guess what? We also had a resistance level right here too. It's okay to scale out even though we went up higher. And I sold a lot off down here as we were hitting these levels of resistance, even though we were having a breakout. That's okay. Now I bought back in a little bit more, but still, I ended up not being able to capture the full momentum of the full profit there. So it's okay just to say, hey, I want to lock in some profits. There's never a problem with locking in profits here. Other thing is, there's a whole bunch of different stuff you guys could have been using. You guys could have been looking at just a regular pitchfork for heaven's sakes. This one probably isn't going to be the best example here, but let me see if I can get it to fit. Because normally looking at we should be using a longer term thing here. But there you go. Yeah, see? Even this one's okay. Wow, look at that resistance. Wow, we're pushing it up towards the top levels. Maybe, just maybe, I should take some profit here. Just maybe, right? So, you could be looking at a bunch of different stuff here. Some of you guys were looking more long term, like over here. If we go over to the weekly chart as well, maybe, let me see actually, what does this look like here? That's the high point right there to the low. We broke out above it. Maybe you want to scale it some right there at the 45. Some of you guys may be using a different pitchfork here, so maybe just go to shift. Could have been looking at here or here or here. Mostly for me, I just got kind of scared because of that 200 of the 50-week moving averages. There's another one right there. There's a whole bunch of different excuses you guys could have made to sell, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to have a little bit of some plan in place to say, hey, I've made some good money. I should sell out just a little bit. You don't sell out everything. Just scale out a little bit here and take some profits. Especially because we're going to have this death cross here. And the nerd in me is very curious to see what that means because it's never happened before. I guess this is the tethered chart, so it doesn't go back in time as far. I think I can go to the other chart, but I think it's the Gann box chart. So this is going to be messy. Yeah, it's gonna be messy. But you guys can see, just look at the blue line versus the yellow line. They've never crossed over before, right? All of you guys have seen me do this before. They've just never crossed over. They've came close, but they've never actually done it before. So we still have a while to go. And that level of a few days ago, I put out a video saying Bitcoin death cross imminent or something like that. And I told you guys the only thing that would make me actually excited to buy Bitcoin over the next few days was if we broke out above a certain trend line here. Spiral. I think I need to get log off. There it is. Right here. And let me go over here to daily. Then I can put this back on full screen. Is if we manage to break above this level right here, and we had just not been able to do it, slowly getting pushed back down. It's not the end of the world here, but again, I want to see us break out here before I even get more excited. Or I want to see us at least have another breakout over the next few weeks here that takes us back up here, test it, try to break out, then try to hit back up to $25,000 or so. But we go back over here to the weekly chart. Zoom in just a little bit more. Next few days, I'd like us to kind of try to hold $22,000 before Sunday. If we can hold that, maybe we have an opportunity to just bounce back up next week. That'd be kind of fun. Other than that, we're probably coming back down to at least $21,087 here, or all the way back down to $20,000 if we go off of this one. Which, again, isn't terrible. It's kind of to be expected at this point. But even if Bitcoin falls down like another 5-10%, again, your altcoins are what's going to have the most pain here. We always talk about how if an altcoin goes up a lot, it's definitely going to come down a lot if Bitcoin just comes back down a little bit, right? We don't have to have this open right now on a 15-minute chart. Yeah, we can just have it auto. There we go. Powell didn't seem confident that he wouldn't raise it higher. I think it's going to go back to 50. 50 basis points? No, it's probably going to stay around 25, at least in my opinion, unless something like really crazy happens with inflation, like inflation starts to go back up, then he might move it up to 50 or something like that. I think his goal is to probably do 2 or more rate hikes, and then from there, just keep it at that level and wait to see what happens. We still have a lot of lag time after all the other rates that we've been having. Like the 75 rate hike that we had back in I think it was October or November. We still haven't even felt that in the economy yet here, besides maybe a couple of housing things. It's going to take some time for all those hikes to kind of hit the economy. And I think he's most likely just going to wait for it to hit. And I'm okay with waiting for everything to hit, but he keeps on saying he wants the labor market to soften. And every time we have a good jobs report, that gives him more of a reason to say, hey, that means the economy can take another rate hike. It can take another rate hike to get inflation back down to 2%. And I just don't see 2% inflation anytime soon here. I think some people have been saying it's going to happen sometime like this summer, and I don't see how it's going to happen, like by July or something. I don't see how that's going to happen, but if it does, maybe we have a much better market this year. But if we really do go into recession, all these indicators that kind of say we are true, then Powell, he's going to be happy with lower inflation, but he's not going to have a reason to cut rates. The only way he cuts rates is if the economy is doing extremely bad. If he's doing extremely bad, do you think the stock market's going to be soaring? No. So you kind of see the conundrum here. But people are still hoping for the soft landing where maybe the unemployment rises just a little bit, but not recessionary, not like total recession. Perhaps inflation goes to 2.5% to 3%. And then, we start to see a little bit more of, like maybe something bad could happen. Then Jerome Powell like blinks and cuts rates. It's just like, I don't see him blinking and and panicking out of it. So, it's going to be a process here. See, and hey, Anonymous, you didn't really miss much. We're just talking about those next levels of support and stuff like that. Basically, just simple support levels here. There's nothing too crazy with it. Just be careful if you guys are trying to hope for a sudden reversal. It's best to kind of watch that 4-hour chart and see what happens with the 200 moving average, specifically on that 4-hour chart. See. You're not getting notifications? Yeah, so YouTube doesn't necessarily like my channel for some reason. You're not the only person that has this problem. I just don't know why. I'm not saying I'm shadow banned or anything like that, but it just chooses not to give all of you guys notifications for some reason. I've tried to fix it a number of times. Never been able to fix it, and this is since I started this channel up a couple years ago. Forward options are halted? Oh, that could be interesting. I wonder what's going on with them. Didn't they have a poor earnings report too? The Death Cross Bitcoin Weekly is playing with my emotions. I mean, it should play with your emotions here. Now, you guys have to remember these are all lagging indicators, but, typically when you see a big move like that, it doesn't bode well for the future, right? Like this. Let's go to this one. Load layout. Tutorials for channel. There it is. So it's Emma. Is this the Dima? This must be no. A team is here. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Okay. Just put that pan down here. So on the EMAs here for the weekly, we've already had that death cross here, and we're already starting to see a little bit of a negative reaction to that. This at the end of this week, we should have the formal death cross between the simple moving averages here as well. I don't know if you guys ever use the whole suites. This isn't the most accurate indicator here, but usually green is buy, red is sell, right? Red sell, green buy here. Typically, I don't use it on weekly charts though. I typically just use it on daily, excuse me, and day trading like the 15, 2 hour, 3 hour, stuff like that. Probably should change this up a little bit though. We can change the colors of the chart too. Okay. Let's go to daily now. All right, so this trend can break down, especially when we have crazy stuff like FTX. But typically, you want to buy right here, right? The trend is going upwards. It tells you, hey, you might want to buy this momentum and keep on holding it until the trend reverses. But you can see if you listen to it, just like you don't use other technicals, you could be in a lot of pain. Buy here, sell here, yuck. Buy here, sell here, yuck. Buy here, sell here, yuck. But you can buy here and make money. You can buy here and make money. You could short here and make a bunch of money, buy here, make some money, short here and make a lot of money, right? So there's tons of opportunities in how to use it, like buy here and still make a bunch of money if you just kind of stay with the trend. But at this point, we know we're still in that nice little upward trend here. What's right here? But as far as the death cross, it really does scare a lot of people here. And with the whole suite, also we're using the regular, we're using the HMA. You guys can go exponential, and let's go to the exponential one as well. See, exponential should buy actually way over here. Like same day, actually, same day. This one same. Actually, not too much of a difference here. Let me just do this very fast so we can kind of see the difference. HMA. Just the line itself is a little bit different here, Tima. So I said buy a day later, so probably HMA, that's my standard, that's the one I use. Probably still the best one to use. Go over here to the 4 hour. And see we crossed over right here, not so good. This one didn't work out too well. But typically, again, use your head. Why would you buy right here and we have a major level of resistance? Let me just add on this one here. Smart money concepts is probably fine. We can leave the structures on for now. It's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah. Okay. Why would you buy at all that resistance? You can continue to hold from it told you to buy way down here. You could totally play that move. That was even a better move than the daily chart, right? Would you want to short over here? Yeah, you could actually short this one right here. And your stop loss would actually be right up here, and you might have actually hit. This one over here, again, stop loss, but probably this one's a little bit safer as you can see that the death cross is forming. So maybe you just wanted to wait for that move right there, or you wanted to wait for the breakdown right here and see where it go. On the 4 hour chart, though, we're still very bearish as far as this is concerned, well, as far as I think, too. But I think we might have an opportunity to pop back up a little bit more. My point being, though, you're starting to see more indicators start flashing red when most of them were flashing green before. So the lower time frames are showing you guys, whoa, 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 whoa. Longer time frames are definitely going to take a little bit more time to show those signals. But because the longer term trends haven't shown those signals just yet, perhaps we have an opportunity to flatten back out and see a stronger move here, right? Usually when you start to go more sideways, it's where a lot of these indicators start to show a little bit more weakness. Like right here, no reason. But your common sense is supposed to override an indicator. But that's, you can't just use indicators to trade 100%. If you guys know some basic technicals, hey, how about I don't buy the resistance that hasn't been broken out yet? Use that type of stuff, you're fine. But you could always add a bunch of other stuff here. At this point in time, though, again, I just don't see a reason to be buying. Maybe if we come back down here, perhaps. But that trend is probably going to continue for a hot minute here. And I don't see. You can see how this kind of got weird again in the 4 hour. You could buy right here, make some money, double top into the pattern right there. You could also open up a short during that green pattern. So, you could do a lot of stuff. What I like to do is, I'd like to say, hey, this is all, this resistance, it's there. The red bar is here, or the red trend. You can see it, but you got to say, why else am I going to be shorting this position? Why else do I think this is going to be going down? And typically, all you got to do is just kind of zoom out a little bit and be like, okay, we're at a level of resistance. You see the moving averages start to cross over. We also see on the daily, we broke down below the 20. We see the weakness kind of forming here. That's enough for me to try to do a short position here and say, hey, I'll take a short position. I'll see where it goes, probably to that first level of resistance, that red line that was kind of right over here. Don't have to go too crazy with it, but I'm thinking more of day trading strategy. Hey, it's the 15 in the 4 hour charts here. There we go. All right. And hey, GT, I've thought long on this. If the SEC bans staking, shouldn't they end stock dividends since they both clearly securities in their eyes? They won't do that, though, because, again, Wall Street gives tons and tons of donations to politicians. You guys know how presidents don't really make that much money. They make $500,000, $400,000 a year. I mean, it's a lot of money, but not to them because all these presidents and people are extremely rich, right? Well, remember, after they leave office, whether they're a president like Trump, Obama, Bush, Biden, or vice president like Biden, Pence, Hillary Clinton, all that type of stuff. Hillary Clinton wasn't a vice president. She was Secretary of State. They kind of go up in front of banks and they do get these massive speaking fees, and that's for helping them out while they were in positions of power in the government. it is what it is. They get a lot of speaking fees, and because of that, they rub shoulders. You help me, I help you. It's the type of environment. Like here, so I don't think Trump got speaking fees because he's very divisive, but I think Obama did. Obama speaking fees. So former President Bill Clinton has made the most out of any modern president on speaking the circuit. He gives dozens of speeches a year, and each brings in between $250,000 and $500,000 per engagement, according to published reports. He also earned $750,000 for a single speech in Hong Kong in 2011. Barack Obama, $400,000. So the $400,000 appeared to be an Obama standard fee, as he has already been paid the same amount for the conversation with presidential historian Doris Kearns Goodwin. And so Obama gets paid like $400,000 per speech. He's popular. Bush, $175,000, $100,000 between $175,000 per speech, and is considered one of the most prolific speech makers in modern politics. He gets Jimmy Carter, $50,000. So they have no incentive to really do much. And the weird thing is here, if you think about what you're talking about here, you're probably more in line with the far left or the far right, who really don't like banks, who really don't like institutions overall, because they can kind of see how the corruption has kind of molded the system currently. But those people are usually shunned because they have some weird, wild other view, like defund the police. Like what did Tim Scott do? Like get rid of Social Security or something like that. So they say some really wild and stupid stuff, and so their ideas are never able to kind of rise up to do something really, really good. It's rare that it happens, and when it does happen, you can see a wild reaction to it because the whole of the media, the whole system attacks it like crazy. The last time we had something like this was Obamacare, which had like really good things to it and really bad things to it, but the whole media thing went like totally overboard to say how horrible it was going to be, which led to mass riots and stuff like that. And, for some people it was bad. Some people it was very, very good. But again, you can tell when something is probably okay or it's going to do some good because the whole system tries to gear itself against it when it's serious enough, right? We haven't, like Trump's tax cuts. Before COVID, the economy was actually doing very, very good. I think those tax cuts actually did a lot of good. Now, we will never know if they were actually going to make enough money to pay for the cuts because, again, COVID happened and the U.S. just went money, money, money and spent a lot of money. But what did you see? The whole system went totally boom, 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 right? To go after everything. That actually helped a lot of people too, a lot of businesses. I don't really care about giving tax breaks to the corporations, honestly. I kind of wished it was only for the middle class businesses, the mom and pop shops, like the pizzerias that I like to go to and stuff. But whenever we have something very big like that, everything goes into overdrive because people on both sides are trying to make sure it either passes or it doesn't. And usually, the side that's not really for the people, that's the one that usually wins out. But every once in a while, there's enough of a push, but it always starts off as crazy. Remember, if you asked Biden about healthcare in 2000, like 1990s or like early 2000s, he would have said no, 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 no to everything in Obama's healthcare package. No, 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 no. Right? Joe Biden at one point wanted to get rid of Social Security. Right? So again, it all flips around. I really don't have much faith in Congress as an institution. I think there are good people in there every now and again, even in the middle, the moderates and stuff like that too. But I just don't see that, like, how do I explain this? It's like you walk into quicksand and over time you're slowly just submerging. And as you submerge, you start to see like, oh, wow, you're into a money sand pit, right? So you're drowning, but you're drowning in money. Right, so that's the way I view it as far as Congress. Some people get out in time. Some people sink. Some people are able to sink slower than others. But I've rarely seen somebody that can actually stay 100% above the money, up on top of the sand. Right, even Bernie Sanders, who I would say most people on the left really love and think he's a really good guy. He's made money in a whole bunch of different ways. Right, he has multiple houses. He doesn't really hold true to the ideals that he completely says, like, if let a homeless person into your home, that type of stuff. No, so there's no clear way to get around that nonsense that, like, to have that perfect little thing going on for us. But as far as like staking stuff, there's no way. Sure, they're very similar. Yes, they are. But again, they would find a way to make sure that staking is illegal. Everything else is okay. But like I said, there'd be some way for staking to survive, but it wouldn't be called staking. It'd be something else. And it wouldn't be the same mechanism. They could probably try to create something through the blockchain that does it for you, but it wouldn't necessarily be called staking. They would transform the name into something else, and it would take probably around 50% of the characteristics of staking and putting it into something else that has been sanctioned by the SEC and the government to say, hey, this is okay, and this is also something that banks can get into as well. So banks will probably lead the charge in that field down the road. Does that make sense? So there'll be a version of it, but banks will control it, not Binance, not KuCoin, right? Is this the beginning phase of a government bringing in their CBDC and phasing out all the digital currencies? No. So I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of all these other currencies because at the end of the day, these are mostly going to be turned into securities. I believe that, yes, something's going to be phased out here off of exchanges, but not like, deleted, so to speak. They're not going to be able to get rid of a lot of this stuff. What they're trying to do, I think, at this point is they're going to try to get a digital dollar hooked up. And I think they're going to try to get the digital dollar to be the standard. That way, with that digital dollar, they can track everything. I don't know if that will pass because I don't think Republicans necessarily like that thought process of like the government being able to track everything, although that'd be very hard to track everything, like just the amount of information you have to store, right? But I think that's kind of their end goal. They want to be able to track all of the transactions so people can pay. Like, imagine if you had to pay sales tax on crypto. Imagine that. It's like 10% sales tax out here in Washington where I live. Let's say I want to buy pizza with some USD coin, like a United States digital currency coin. Well, there'd be an extra 10% tax on that, and it just gets routed straight to the IRS. I mean, just think about it. Like that's the power they would have when they do end up doing those types of tokens or coins. You want to get back in Ethereum under $1,000? Wish an opportunity comes in. What's your buy target? Oh, I'm willing to get into Ethereum at 1,200, 1,000, 800, and maybe 600 if things get really, really bad. I would say $800 again. Worst thing I can see for Ethereum at this point in time, unless the economy really does just go into the shitter, is having more of a double bottom effect here. So not like not the W shape, but just actually hitting the bottom again. So right here, let me turn the log back on. Right, we've currently just broken down here. I can see Ethereum going back down to $800 because even when we had the FTX stuff, it never actually made new lows here, which was very, very interesting because again, it rose up so much after this last rally. I would say if you want an easy target, right down here around 1,075, I would take it. I would still take it if it came back down here between 1,500 or excuse me, what is that, 1,300 to $1,000. I'd be happy to buy down here, but the golden level to me really is from here to here between 1,000 and 874. I'd be happy. Going back over here, let's get rid of all those lines. There must be another one I can actually use here, a little bit longer term. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Right there. Again, that's that support level we saw. 845 is something I would love to see us hit it one more time. And you can see actually if we zoom in here, we're getting slowly rejected by the 50-week moving average here. If we come back down here, yeah. But honestly, don't try dollar cost average heavily whenever we're down below $1,000 or 1,075. Let's just say 1,100. Dollar cost average like crazy and be happy to do so. Just know that if for whatever reason we do start breaking down below some of these levels, and I can actually do this as well, just your typical, you can actually do a couple things here. Ethereum is pretty fun. Right, some support right down there. $600, that's why I was thinking $600 if things get really, really bad. $600 right here matches up with that level of resistance right there, right? Oh, let me zoom in for you guys. I know you guys can't see that as zoomed in as I can. Right down there, I would love to see us go down there. That's, again, only if the economy goes really, really bad. And at this point, we don't know because the economy is still looking okay. But Ethereum still hasn't had its death cross yet. Still hasn't had its death cross. And then, of course, if you guys like your pitchy forks, right here, also found some support right there. Let's go back over here very fast, though. Shift, riding this one. Actually managed to break out okay. 1320 may be a decent one. 1400 may be a decent one. Again, 600, 600 is actually way down here. Actually, that would probably happen way, way down here. Wouldn't happen anytime soon. Shift, modded shift, inside. No, that's gonna be way down. Okay, let's go back to original though, just to make life a little bit easier. Now let's go to log. Still the same. 45. Maybe around 850. This is, what is this, 880? Yeah, maybe around just the 850 mark we might be okay too. Not terrible. All right, let's stick that back, the log back on. Anything else though? I guess one last one, if you wanted to have some fun with it, would be this one. A pitchfork, but like way, way low. This is not something I'd probably say anybody would actually have on their charts though. This is more just for fun. There we go. Let's go to shift. Support, breakdown, some breakouts there. Maybe we need to go down a little bit lower actually. That one do any different? Resistance there. No, okay, yeah, okay. Maybe back down here towards 1,100, 700, that's 800 actually. Down here to 530. Now, I'd probably just stick with 600 if if things got really, really bad. I would just be happy with 600 unless it goes down here to 300, which I just can't see happening at this point. Anything else I could do with Ethereum just for the fun of it? Last thing would just be a typical Fibonacci retracement level. Yeah, there you go, right there, yeah. There you go. Oh, and Bitcoin's actually taking a little bit of a dive right now. Wants to go down a little bit more. Let's go to the 5 here. Oh yeah, we broke down here. All right, well, we can watch maybe some more Bitcoin action here. We're seeing that Bitcoin's down about a third of a percent right now. Matic is up about 1%. Ethereum's down almost 1%. Link is down almost 2%. STMX is down 3%. Shiba's up 1% after having a really bad day yesterday. Hey, GT, no, both sides are crazy. Yeah, right? Oh, man. How do you think Shiba's going to do? Right now, since Bitcoin is showing a lot of weakness, I would say be careful with things like SHIB and, well, just a lot of these other coins that have had really nice rallies over the past couple weeks. If they've had really, really wild rallies, those are usually the coins that are going to have some really big dumps. Now, while they're having big dumps, or I would say big swings here, those are usually great opportunities for some day trades if you guys like to trade your patterns, but play them safely. Have your stop losses and have a trading plan built out before you go into it, because usually if you don't have your plan set up ahead of time, you may be trying to formulate a plan while the actual big move is happening and you would have already missed it. So I would say it's probably going to come down a lot if Bitcoin does start moving back down to 20,000 or 20,500 levels. You're going to see STMX probably, to me, SHIB come down like an extra 10 to 15%. So just be aware of that. That's right here. Yeah, I'm with you. Money can get the better of these people over time. Yeah, it's just like, again, it's like quicksand. I think so many people go in there with good intentions. And then it's like, hey, good intentions, $10,000 campaign donation. Hey, we'll help you out after you leave office too. You know, it's the stuff like that. And remember, most people that go into Congress, they already have a significant amount of money. Not everybody, but a lot of them do. And then they realize that once they leave Congress, whoa, I like this lifestyle. Remember, they get paid like $200,000 a year or something like that. More than that. They get into that lifestyle. And then when you get into that nice lifestyle where you don't have to really worry about stuff, you want to stay there and you want to make sure that you have some type of an account to, you have preparations ahead of you, right? To make sure you're not going to have any problems with going out to fine dinners and things of that nature. Sheeb. Let's go look at Sheeb very fast. I mean, the Sheeb's taking a dip just like Bitcoin on that 5-minute. Okay, so you can see this had a really big movement while Bitcoin was kind of going around the same time, like going sideways. This continued to break out and it had a really lovely move. And so far, you've actually seen that it's come down about 22%. This thing is most likely going to at least come back down to test out the 200 daily moving average. That's like a 30% from the highs. From where it is now, though, that would probably be around another 11% drop. If it comes back down to the 50, maybe 16, 15. You are looking at a golden cross here between the 50 and the 200, so you might actually see a little bit of a pump back up here, just a little bit more of one. At this point, though, if you want to get more excited, you want to see it close back above that 20-day moving average. Again, usually when we break down below the moving averages, you usually have these really big moves. I would say be careful because let's say Bitcoin just comes back down here to maybe just 20,406 or something like that. You may see a scenario, where she actually comes all the way back down, find it, down here. But then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, we're going to have a big crash, and it comes all the way back down here. So you got to be prepared for a big move like that if you're looking at Sheeb. Hopefully, though, this is as far as it wants to go, right there. If it doesn't go much further than that, you can try to ride up the wave. But if Bitcoin starts falling down below that support level, yeah, Sheeb is going to definitely have a really rough time here. Really, really rough time. Mara, let's see, Mara. Well, this is definitely doesn't look too good right now. $5. I just have. It does have options. Wow. Losing money, a very tiny market cap here, $786 million market cap. A short float of 47%. Yowza. Play chart. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually came all the way back down here to like towards $2 range. Let me see what we have here though. If you wanted to buy this, I would really just wait to see if it comes back down to 260 or back down towards the support level. Other than that, I'd be very, very worried about this because I know. Well, let me double check what they do. Go. Let's see. Investors. Yes or no? Anything new here? Oh, not too bad. Okay. As long as Bitcoin continues to fall, this bad boy is going to continue to fall as well. This is back in December. Maybe if you want to think about this more in the short term here, it's about to break down below the 50 here probably tomorrow, honestly, unless Bitcoin does some type of really big reversal. Didn't even try to hold here. My gosh, this thing does not. This thing only worries about Bitcoin, not even technicals. Does that fix anything up? There. Maybe if you don't want to wait for it to come all the way back down here below $3, maybe you can take an opportunity to buy tomorrow or probably when it gets towards 450 or so. But Ken, I would say be careful of this one. With Bitcoin going down the way it is right now, this definitely isn't going to bode well tomorrow. It looks like it already fell down 12, 13% today. So definitely not the best of moves. Was there any patterns you could have traded during this? No, this thing just opened up and just started going down, down, down. Not many opportunities to actually get in here, right? 1 hour chart over the last few days. Yeah, maybe if it built up another ceiling here, but you're looking at all the moving averages start to crash down. The 2 hour is going to be crashing down over the next few days. Bouncing off of the 200 here on the 2 hour, though. But to me, yeah, it's already broken down below the support levels. It might have a pop back up to 653 tomorrow if the market goes sideways. And then from there, it'll probably keep on coming back down. So be very, very careful with that one. I know you're probably thinking about puts on it, but yeah, so be careful with it. 15, I don't want that middle blue line in there. And hey, Bideford, I hope you're having a very, very good day. And hey, Larry, happy to see you back to 18K. Definitely a possibility on this one. You want a DC under 1.1K and buy heavy around 600, 900? I think that can definitely be a possibility. We just have to wait to see how bad this recession is going to get. And it looks like it'll probably be moderate to bad. I don't see it being the soft landing that everybody on the news keeps on talking about. And hey, John, I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. I'm trying to get better and better at the streaming thing here because I've been really busy working on a whole bunch of other stuff. But the more I get like used to this type of stuff and making it a day-to-day recurrence, I think I'll get better and better at it once, like, plus with I got the stream kind of stuff now the way I like it with my green screen behind me now, the top back to normal. I might have fixed some stuff up there. I don't know why I switched over. Oh, I switched over because I switched over streaming platforms. That's why. And hey, Hannah, I personally do not think Bitcoin will go much lower. I think that this is just the first dip in a rally, so I think people are panicking. That can definitely be the case, especially if we have some CPI data coming out pretty soon. We could definitely have a pretty big bump there. If you guys were looking for the support level to buy Bitcoin up right now, that support level is right about here where we are currently. That's if we go back over here, you see this little zone over there. Let me zoom in here very fast and add some horizontal levels with the magnet on. So that's the high. That's the low for now. There we go. You'd be looking, oh no, we haven't actually hit it yet. Yeah, you'd be looking for this level right over here for an opportunity to buy. If we do start breaking down below this, then of course we're going to probably have some issues as we try to battle in between this 20,225 up here to the 21,631 level. I'd probably say, break the middle here and have your first buy target there if we do break down. But besides that, again, I'm still not too concerned about buying into this market. Especially because the Dow and the Nasdaq and a lot of those other assets are just like, starting to show a little bit of weakness here. Nothing too crazy. I'm hoping that the overall trends, like the golden crosses, on Nasdaq, golden cross on the SPY, that could kind of lead us a little bit higher here, especially as we kind of test out these local resistance levels, like right there, right there. See, we already broke out above that resistance and we still came back down. And the SPY, which is right around here, managed to break out above that one and also came back down here, unfortunately. But, it's not the end of the world here. I think we start to panic a little bit more as we start to break down below these trend lines here with the SPY. And, of course, the Nasdaq, which is a little more aggressive of a trend line. When we start to break down below those, then you can start saying, whoa, something's not good here. We're probably going to come back down quite a bit. And that's where Bitcoin really takes the big move back down towards like, $17,000, $18,000. But so far, you guys can see right here. Just trying to hold. A lot of times we don't really have these big moves until the Friday market opens back up. And then Saturday, Sunday is when we really start to see some more volatility here where things get a little bit more nasty, right? But although, this was all last week. This is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Huge move. Saturday, another big move. Sunday, cooling off a little bit more, waiting for the regular market to open up. Again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, looking really nice. Again, not too concerned, but definitely not going to be buying at these levels, I would say. And hey, John, just bought into Fubo? I haven't looked at Fubo in a minute, I don't think. So this one's been steadily going down for the long term here. I don't know if you're doing a day trade or a swing trade or a long-term trade on this one. As far as a swing trade, you probably might see it come back down towards $1.94, find some support, then try to break back out over the next few days. So you might see a little bit of a bottoming off right over here. And then from there, you see if it can actually get back up here towards $3 or so, which I don't think it'll be too hard for it to do if the market continues to go sideways. As far as this company as a whole, though, let me actually check this out because I don't think we've checked out the earnings on this in a hot minute. This was a big thing back when the market was really booming. Still losing money. And the market cap is still very small. Short ratio is still pretty large. Why are they so expensive? I mean, just like $94 a month, $84, $74. Why do they choose to be so expensive? That's the one thing I'll never understand about Fubo. Investors. Guys, oh, it's PDF. Can I just... Unaudited. Oh, well, that's not as good as you want to see. Investments, total assets, abilities, shareholders, comprehensive loss, wagering. They're losing money on wagering. Oh, geez. Gambling is the big up business right now. They should not be losing money. Advertising is going up. Subscriptions going up. That's good. Operating expenses, more expensive, more expensive, more expensive, more expensive. Oh, they cut down on staff. You can tell with the administration. Impairment of goodwill, tangible asset, other long-lived assets. That's gone down over the past couple quarters. They're losing a lot. They're losing money by trading currencies. This is just stockholders' equity. The company is not in good financial health, so be careful with it. If you hold for a while, it eventually probably break down below 150 here, just because the growth seems to be slowing down quite a bit along with the rest of the world, right? So not everybody's going to be able to afford those crazy prices that they have on that front page there. Short term, though, you're really just hoping that you can really try to hold this 195 level over the next few weeks, and then from there, try to bounce back up and try to make it back up here to 273. It did fall down about 10% today, so it can definitely have a pretty bad day tomorrow. Hopefully, as far as today is concerned, it even closed on a bad note, didn't it? 1 hour. Down below that. Maybe it has a pivot sometime tomorrow around $2.10 or so. That may make a good opportunity. But for most of these types of moves, right, for when it comes to Fubo or what's the other one? Rivian, you're really trying to buy this and hold for the long term here because you believe they can do something really good, right? There's also a level of support right here, although it looks like we broke down below it. Let me go to extended hours. Did we still break down below it? No, okay, so let's go right here. Yeah, we just still did break. Oh, that's what that little hiccup was right there, middle of the day. Yeah. So it did just break down here. So be careful holding on to this one. You'll probably get a little bit of support, maybe around $2.11. $2.11, if not right down here around $1.94. Back down to the 15 for Bitcoin. There we go. What happened to Coinbase? Oh, so it was overbought after the past few weeks after having a crazy rally. And then on top of that, Bitcoin also went down. Go over here to coin. It used to be $32 back towards the end of the year. Or no, actually just the beginning of this month, last month. It went from 32 to 87. That's over 100% gain. And now it's back down to 59. It just ran up way too much, too fast. The floor finally came out underneath it. Because remember, Coinbase isn't profitable. Can you see my, oh yeah, you guys can see this kind of. Losing money, but a nice market cap or a short float that's pretty big. You probably saw a short-term squeeze here as this was occurring over the past month or so as well. But yeah, losing a lot of money. There's no real reason to be holding this stock at this point in time. And while it does have earnings coming out at the end of the month, they're probably going to be disappointing earnings because again, actually, they may be better than expected because everybody's been trading a lot more, I would assume, over the past month. But these are probably going to be Q4 earnings, which were okay. A lot of action. November is part of that, where we saw a lot of craziness with FTX. They may have a respectable earnings. I don't think it'll be blockbuster, but I think it can be a respectable earnings report, actually. Now, think about all the crazy stuff we had to deal with last quarter. Yeah. But yeah, basically they just had a massive run up, massive run up. They have to cool down, and they cooled down hard. All it took for the cool down to really get kicking was Bitcoin coming down about 5% today. Kept Fubo for about a month and canceled. Yeah, it is very expensive. Do I have my eye on any AI tech companies? No, not really too much right now. What I've been thinking about is putting more money into Microsoft because they bought ChatGPT. I've been trying to find more of them, but to me, the ones I've been kind of hearing the best news about are ones that are private and they're not actually on the stock in the stock market here. There may be companies out there that actually own portions of them, But the way it'll work out is they'll just get cash if the company that they're part of is bought out, if that makes sense. I should probably make a list. Hey, let me go over here. I mean, see, like when you look at this stuff, a lot of this stuff is stuff I don't want. Like Microsoft, okay, I want that. Next, Alphabet, I own that. Amazon, I own that. Nvidia, I own that. IBM, I own that, even though it's not that good. I own it. I don't own this one. Intuitive Surgical Inc., but this is what it looks like an expensive company. Like I'm looking for those low market cap plays here at Workday. Not really. I don't think it's going to really do too much here. But it's already the same. It's already a lot of money. All these Palantir technologies, maybe. Oh, here it is. But with defense sectors, maybe that's what you're looking for there. I mean, maybe. What is PLTR? I know this has a lower market cap. At least the last time I checked it did. PLTR. 17 billion. Oh yeah, it did have a nice little rally. Maybe back when it was like $6, it might have been a little bit better. Go back to the monthly. Oh geez, yeah, it used to have a really, really big market cap. back here in 2021, it's definitely come back down a lot. With a $17 billion market cap, it's still losing money, isn't it? Geez, yeah. Not a huge shortfall, but still a respectable one. 7%, that's kind of big. Earnings February 13th. I would have to look into see exactly what their AI technology is, honestly. Equipment reliability and predictive maintenance. No, see, that's a supply chain thing. Yeah, see, that's not even, that's the AI we're looking for here. I mean, do I own this? Sure. Do I want to buy more? No. So, anything else? Dynatrace Inc. Cloud computing. Digital ecosystems. I feel like Amazon and the big boys would have this on, like, would have their own version of this. So I'm looking for something really popular. I just don't see much out there that's public, right? Let's get rid of all this other stuff. There, there we go. Not much really. Like, it's all the big companies I already own, right? Now, because of Microsoft acquiring ChatGPT, yes, I am buying a lot more Microsoft during this next little dip where we're going. I'm going to buy a lot more of it. Because I understand how big of a deal ChatGPT is for the ecosystem, because it goes more than just the regular ChatGPT that we talked about here. It goes to automatically keeping notes on meetings, that two-way meetings or three-way meetings, whatever. It'll take all the notes from the meeting. It can do just a whole bunch of stuff that'll help a lot of people out, and it basically increases the workflow that a person can have. So, if you guys can only do so much work in a day, it probably will increase your productivity by like 20%, maybe 30%, if it's used properly. So that's how much it's going to, like, how amazing it's going to be. And I do think it's a danger to Google here, because Google doesn't have one right now. They're making their own Bard, but ChatGPT is very, very good. It might take some time before Google's is really that top tier. I've already made the change to go from Google to Microsoft Bing as my front page, just because I want to see how this all works out down the road. You can't do it yet, but eventually you should be able to. And that's what I'm really excited about. Like, right? I need to throw a dinner party for 6 people who are vegetarian. What's a better one? Oh, let's just try it, right? There you go, right? I'm already on the wait list for it, but it comes out with a whole thing for me. And so one of the reasons to get up on the wait list is actually make this your primary page. So you know what? I am going to do that because I really want to see this, and this is amazing. Like, I cannot stress how cool this is going to be and just how useful this is going to be. I'm already on the wait list here. I need to install the app. Maybe that would help me out even more. I don't have the Bing app. I would never get a Bing app, but only for this. But yeah, so I mean, it's just going to be freaking fantastic. And the Bing one is going to be able to get all the most recent news. So, ChatGPT only goes back to 2021. The Bing one will go back to yesterday, today, right? That's how cool it's going to be. Claps for those who bought puts and Lyft. They're going to make some good money here as long as that implied volatility wasn't too high. And hey, Ken, AFRM. As the economy slows, this one isn't going to be doing as hot just because this is a loaning service. So if you guys don't want to pay for, let's say you want to buy a refrigerator off of Amazon or a TV Super Bowl season. Let's say you want to buy a $1,000 TV. Well, they'll let you do 10 installments of $100 instead of paying the money up front, right? And you can see ever since it IPO'd, this is a weekly chart. It's had some success back in 2021, right? But then of course, this is like a crypto coin basically. The highs of 168 now down to $13. Now, it did just break down below the 20-week moving average after getting rejected by the 50-week moving average here. Oh, it broke it above the 200 as well, and it still managed to get put back down. Oh, it had earnings yesterday. It was really, really bad, so you kind of missed the earnings move there. Still to break down below that before that. I would probably not even try to buy this until it gets back down here below $11. Like $11 is right there. The support kind of starts around $10.15. Then from there, it goes down to $8.67. I wouldn't buy until it hits this zone down here. Like, there's no way I really want to buy this right now. Now, is this company okay? Yeah. I'm spelling it wrong. Oh, FRM. There you go. There you go. Yeah, they're losing money a lot too. They have a short interest of 16%, 17%. Not my favorite. Should you own some for the long term? Probably. But do I want to buy it now? No. And this is only because I'm so pessimistic about the economy, how I think we are actually going to a recession, maybe just a moderate recession, but I think we are going to go into a recession. I think you're going to have an opportunity to buy this below $11, and that's where I'd be looking to buy this right now. Let me get rid of this very fast, because you just look at it like every month, this thing just, hasn't been going in the right direction here. Even go back to the weekly chart we were looking at before. I think this thing can at least come back down to $12. Back down to $11 pretty easily. We do have some really nice rallies in the past here, but it seems like every rally just seems to come back down pretty darn hard, right? So most likely now, I wouldn't really touch it too much just because of the earnings. That's going to mess around with some stuff. And tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of crazy options actions, which may inflate the prices there. So be careful if you do want to buy options on it tomorrow. Other than that, again, just look to see what happens when it goes down below $11. I'd be much more enthusiastic about it than rather than trying to buy it or even short it at $13.29. She's been shorting it at these resistance levels from right over here, even though it even broke out above that. See, just a wild time. You'd have to go back to the weekly chart for that 50. There you go. Could be fun to day trade tomorrow, though. Could be really fun to day trade. ChatGPT is scary. It blew my mind with its coding skills and explanation, although it can also give you summaries, explanations, essays of certain topics. Yeah, I just wish it gave you longer things, like longer essays, longer paragraphs and stuff like that. I basically use it for YouTube metadata, and that's the way I like it. So the way I use it, here. Upgrade plan. Oh, they have an upgrade plan button here. Oh, let me move my head. Yeah, see this? Upgrade plan. $20 a month. Available even when demand is high. Faster response speed. Priority access new features. Oh. Available when demand is low. Standard response speed. Regular model updates. Oh, that's what they were doing these past few weeks. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to pay for that. But see, if I pay for this and it's a high demand time and I'm still having issues with it, I'm probably not going to keep the $20 plan. I want this thing to be working whenever I need to use it. Okay, so I could go over here and I can type in something like, okay, there you go. Okay, can you help me with some YouTube metadata for a video? Usually I actually just hit stop generating and then I just actually start typing in what I need. But this will kind of help you out if you're new to doing metadata for YouTube videos and stuff like that, right? So once it's done, I don't do half the stuff it's saying, like closed captions and transcripts, no. Annotations, sure, but that's done through certain things. Playlist, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's stop generating. Okay, yeah. It's a video about how Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million one day. I need a description, a title, and some tags, and some hashtags. See, maybe they want me to pay for it. Generate response. New chat. See, now I can't even answer it. I need help with YouTube metadata about a video about how Bitcoin is. It should still do the same thing. The future Bitcoin, why experts predict it will reach $1 million. It'll give you a description, and you never actually take the first example it gives you. But what you do is you start tweaking it, and you can ask it to tweak it, right? So tags, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, right? Well, I don't want to do my tags like that. So what I would say is, can you separate? Okay, who cares? The tags with a comma. That way I can easily put them into the YouTube system. Right? That makes my life a little bit easier right there. Everything a lot easier right there. Can you make the description longer and put these keywords in? So if somebody wants to search for these keywords, right? Bitcoin, ETH, crypto, investing, what's another keyword here? Profits. Here's up the description. And there you go, right? So you tweak it around quite a bit here, quite a bit. So this helps me out a lot when I'm doing my metadata. I don't necessarily take the first one or the second one or the third one. Like, I really try to tweak everything to be what I want it to be. But you can see, now those keywords are in there, crypto landscape, whatever. It's in there. It makes my life a lot easier. Me writing this myself would probably take about 10 minutes. It does it for me like in 2. I get a lot more time out of my, more bang for my buck, basically, and this is free. At this point, I don't know. I'll probably upgrade and see what the difference is. But this speed and everything is perfectly fine for me. I'm not going to waste my money if I don't have to. But yeah, so, the basic stuff here. Like, you can do the scripts and stuff like that. I'm not much of a coder, so I don't do that. Nor do I understand what it's talking about. But some of you guys that code, like you just talked about, it can definitely make your life a lot easier from what I hear. Am I still bullish on the metaverse? Yes, I am. Still going to get hit hard during this bear market, I believe. But yes, I am still bullish on the metaverse. I still buy Meta, because I still think they're going to do really good things here. For me, though, it's not so much. So gaming is going to be part of it, but I do think there's other stuff out there besides gaming and the metaverse that I think people are going to be able to use. I'm hoping that Google can launch something in that direction, but I think everybody's been spooked off after they've seen how much money Facebook has really just thrown at this thing and just kind of just went and it's gone. And it's gone. That's what the money is like. That's what the money looked like when it got thrown out by Facebook. But yes, I do think there's a good version for the metaverse out there. I think it will be mostly used for work. So, work meetings and stuff like that, because I do think over time, as America gets more and more expensive, I see people like me just kind of flying out and living in Nicaragua, Colombia, Venezuela, Chile, Peru, Brazil, whatever, and basically just having meetings in the metaverse. Now, I think companies will purchase all of these these glasses and these new like monitor things, and it'll make everybody just have a little bit of an easier time. And then from there, they'll be able to use their hands and their gloves to really show what they're talking about. It'll probably start off with engineers because they can kind of like say zoom into this bridge, like this is what we need here, this is what we need here, kind of show and do examples and stuff like that. And just make everybody's life again a little bit easier. As far as gaming is concerned, I think it'll be very profitable down the road. But I think they need to change the software up so you can get more stuff in the headset, so to speak. The times I've ever had in the VR world is where my friend has his VR equipment hooked up to his computer. So his computer is running everything that I'm seeing, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous in video as far as gaming is concerned. But that's the computer running everything. I don't particularly like Facebook's Quest too much. I mean, I think it's really cool, really fun. But would I actually like buy it? No, not really. But again, I'm not too much of a gamer in that respect. But if I could open up, Mountain Blade and play it 100% in VR, oh my lord, yes, I would love to do that. I have friends that only bought VR for one specific game, and that was Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, which are big space games. So like, here, let me open up my Steam account here. It'll open up eventually. Yeah, connecting it to Steam account. I haven't really been playing too much as I want to, which kind of sucks. But you know what? Work is work, or not even work, just me chilling out and going outside, which is a good thing to do, right? Go outside. So like maybe I wanted to play Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. This is one of my favorite games. I haven't played it since August of last year. Okay, I played like 229 hours on it. But if I could play this in VR and have a really fun time, 100% in VR, oh, you bet I would just be playing this nonstop. Like Civilization games, if I could like pinpoint and do everything within the metaverse, oh sure, I would love to play it. Civilization 6, I played 200 hours. I haven't played this since October of last year. I played Napoleon, his last game I think I played. Yeah, January 11th. I have 130 hours in this one over the few years I've had it. Rome, 1,700 hours. I haven't played it since January 1st. I didn't really like playing it because it was kind of weird with the mods I had on there. But this type of game, real-time armies movements, yeah, I could definitely love to play it. But I don't think it's going to be the games that we're thinking about as far as the man is in the sands. Do I own them? Yes, because I do think the games are going to be cool down the road, and they're going to be able to make a profit. But the real money, in my opinion, is going to be through some of these, like the Activisions and stuff like that. Like, who owns Activision? Or who's about to own Activision? Microsoft, like that type of stuff, right? And it goes back to that theory of mine that the big companies are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to bring it to that cyberpunk timeline. Maybe not as punky, but definitely that cyber corporate lifestyle here pretty soon. I still believe in the metaverse wholeheartedly. It's just not the pure gaming one that you would think of when you see Sand and those janky ones that aren't really funneled out yet. But yeah, I still believe in it completely. See. And hey, Blockchain Revolution. Oh, I know, but I just hate dealing with it when it crashes like that. I'm just like, I'll just restart. It's it's not too hard. Let's see. What do I think about FNMA? Lots of lawsuits. If there's lots of lawsuits, I just don't bother with it. Again, there's no reason to get yourself into that type of risk. My philosophy when it comes to trading, as far as short-term and swing trading, is trade what you know. I have about 10 to 20 stocks that I love to trade. I have about 10 crypto coins that I love to trade. Do I buy a whole bunch of more stuff for long-term investments? Yes, sirree. But when it comes to those type of investments, I'm going through those files like I showed you before as far as Fubo TV. I looked at see how much money they're making. I go into more detail, obviously. Sorry, a little piece of dust in the air. Or I think it was a part of Loki's hair. I look at what they have to say, like why are they making money, why they're not. I look at their guidance. I try to listen into their earnings calls, like even if it's like a few days after their earnings calls. And I try to get a sense of what's going on with the company. If the management is solid, is the company profitable? Like if the company is profitable, oh my gosh, it makes such a big difference here. Especially if it's a low market cap and profitable, it can make your life very, very easy. Like screener, market cap, under 2 billion. Oh, we don't need a dividend. Let's have a price that's just over $5, so it's not looking all cheap. Why not? Average volume over 400,000. That takes us down to 530. Net profit margin positive. That took us down from like 550 to 194. Let's go over here to basic. And then, oh, good. Not the basic's not going to work out for us. Custom. Performance, no. Oh, that's a really good maker. Oh, it's mortgage. Okay. It's not. Okay, never mind. Basic. Why isn't this showing me the earnings? G Ford PE. Yeah. Why doesn't it show? Hold on 1 second here. Yeah. Why doesn't it? Okay, so this market cap is 600 million, and it's making a profit, but only 21 million. Okay, or maybe my head's blocking it, but yeah, it's gone from $4 all the way up to $6. That's still a really strong move, and the fact that it's profitable is really nice. This is business equipment and supplies. Would I buy this before I think we're going to go into a recession? No, but I do like that it has a very small short float because again, it's making money. If it's making money, I'm pretty happy with it. AMC Research, semiconductors. Ooh, this one must be really nice. Oh, no, I just want to open up the stock. From 5 to 12, a huge move right there. Probably had a good earnings and something really bad happened with guidance or something. But then again, it broke out. Look at that. Really having a nice, strong move. $43 million income, $766 million market cap. This is something I could buy for the very long term here, right? I would have to look at all the research, do all the type of stuff. 2D and 3D devices, megasonic cleaning, thorough water wide cleaning, wafer wide cleaning. Gentler damage-free cleaning. I don't even know what this stuff does, but yeah, they're making money off of it, so I'd probably want to invest in something like this. Again, a very small market cap. It's not going to take a lot of money to make some good money if you're thinking about holding this, but you're thinking about holding this for a longer period of time if you're asking me, right? But again, I have no idea what this stuff is. I'd have to do research on it. Go back again. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this again. Mortgage, I don't want to trade mortgage companies right now. Semiconductors, sure. Let's see how this one's doing. Okay, I keep on not clicking the ticker. $941 million market cap. Income of 12 million. A short float of 16. That kind of worries me a little bit more. So this might actually come back down. Oh, but look at this. I mean, yeah, this thing has been going up high. You see the double top forming right there, possibly with looking at it to break down. That could bring us all the way back down here to $28 or so. So yeah, of course, there's a huge short float there. But again, I could see myself buying this, especially if the market kind of came back down over the next few months. Again, these wafer levels. I don't know what any of this stuff means, but it looks like they're doing good and they're making a profit. That's all I want to see. I just want to see them making a profit, even if they start losing money during a recession. The fact that they know how to make money, even during this turbulent time, means they have some good people working there. Excuse me. Luxembourg, no, I don't like Luxembourg. AMC Networks, broadcasting, no, probably not this. It reminds me too much of AMC. Altus Power, utilities, utilities. It's good to have some exposure there. I gotta stop doing the name. I just go with the ticker. Excuse me. The 1.2 million market cap, 9.9 million in revenue income, 4% short float. Not doing so hot, but again, I could see myself buying this. Well, again, see what they do. I don't know exactly what they do. What type of power company? Solar energy. Maybe not. Maybe. But yeah, it kind of depends on how much money the government's going to throw at it. That's kind of where I think about Stolik. How much money does the government want to throw at it? Abercrombie and Fitch, no. Digital Turbine software, yes. This is something I already actually own. Let's go over here. I've owned this for such a long time. I owned it like way back over here, and I'm losing money on it. Looks like now. This is in my retirement account. There you go. Software application. They're making money. $1.3 billion market cap. $53 million income. Short flow to 5%. It's down at $12 after it looks like a really bad earnings. Yeah, really bad earnings. Down 23%. Yowza. And again, you go check that, see what this does. Digital turbine. Boop doo. Right. Inspiring connections for the mobile world. App developers, branches, energy, telecom. Right. This is, I think, just more the economy is going down. So this is more exposure to the overall market. But, you know, they have a lot of partnerships and stuff, so I think they'll be perfectly fine. Again, long-term hold. The market cap is very small, only at $1 billion. I'm not going to rush it. I don't, you know, it's something that you hold like Rivian or Tesla back when it was way in the day. Although I don't think it's going to be a Tesla, but I hope it does. Right? But again, you kind of go through these and you see what you can find. Arco, Uruguay, no Uruguay. Go to page 2, and you just kind of go through the list here and you see what you can find. Look at this one's doing just fine. Home improvement retail. Despite all the other crap about the market, this thing has been going fine since last July. Perfectly fine. Apollo commercial real estate. I don't want to do real estate right now. Oil and gas. I don't want to do oil and gas right now because it's just too high. Oil and gas, no. Steel, no. Software infrastructure. Yeah, I'd give this a shot and I'd see. Look at that massive double top we had continue to come back down. I'd give it a shot. I'd see what was going on here, but what's this? $14. I'd give it a shot. I'd see. Let me go over here very fast. 36 million. They're making money. Short float here. Sales are down. That kind of is a little bit more concerning. Right now, it looks like they're selling off some stocks here. Selling off some stocks right now doesn't really make me feel too happy about it. So I'd probably say pass on this one. But again, I would go look at the data, see what they have to say. I mean, learn more about the company, right? Advanced server load balancing. So, you know, it works with the cloud and so that. So, you know, take your time with it. But those are usually the type of companies that I'm looking for right now is profitability. If those are companies that don't get hit as hard during a recession, and even though they will get hit hard, they're just not get hit as hard. They're great opportunities to buy up, even now for the long term, because of course they still only have like $1 billion market cap. You know, it's not like, you know, not like crazy expensive, if that makes sense. The valuations aren't crazy expensive. What are my thoughts on Filecoin? Right now, I don't want to touch it. Long term, I think it'd be an okay opportunity for a long term hold here. Up only a small part of my portfolio though. Let's see. Did I try the Oculus yet? Yeah, my my sister has one. My sister has one. She likes it a lot. But like she plays with it, then she like doesn't play with it for like 2 months. Then she plays with it. So like even this, she uses it, but then she just stops using it. But okay, remember last year or like a couple years ago, I bought my sister a very, very nice, expensive, like $2,500 computer for her birthday, her 16th birthday. 2 years ago now, I think. So she has a very good gaming system like already. And over the past few days, she's done nothing after school except for homework. And all of her friends have been hopping on Discord and watching one of their other friends play the Harry Potter Legacy game, and they've just been going batshit over that. Because I went to go visit the other day, and they were just like total Harry Potter nerds. And I love Harry Potter. I'm watching the cutscene movie right now on YouTube. Well, not now, but you know, on the process of it. And it looks like it's like 13 hours long or something like that. I may actually buy the game just for fun. And see what it's all about off of my computer if they have it. I don't know. I think it's on. Yeah, if they're watching on PC or Discord, it has to be on PC. But yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like. FNMA, yeah, sure. Whatever it is, it's not on TradingView. It looks like there's an over account. You actually maybe you just mean Fannie Mae. We never talk about Fannie Mae. Again, this one is something that's most likely going to keep on coming back down. It looks like it had a nice little pump today of like 3%. Not even a pump, pump of 3%. I would only be looking to buy this for long term here because ever since 2008, this thing has just been looking pretty nasty here. I would say this is something you just want to buy for the long term though. Like really, you'd want to buy this wave like somewhere down here and just ride it for like a year, 2 years. And it's going to be a long-term investment. It mostly comes down to would you rather your capital be here or somewhere else? Because you can buy right now And I would say like within the next 5 years, it's guaranteed it's going to come back up here towards like 250 or at least $3, maybe even up here towards $4. Let's say it comes down over to the lower end of this, around $2.34. You can make around 391%. Or would you rather your money being something else that maybe provides dividends, or something similar? It's really like where you think the money is going to be best spent. I would say it's perfectly okay to have some money here. Although over the counter, I didn't realize this was over the counter. Over the counter does have fees if you do want to buy and sell. So you might actually have to pay like $10 just to pay for a position and $10 just to sell. So make sure that position is going to be very, very a moderate position. That way you're not going to be paying you're not going to be you're still going to be able to make profits. Like if you want to buy $10 of this, you're going to have to pay like $10 in fees. That means you're going to have to make at least 100% in order to just break even, plus another 100% on top of that in order for the selling fees. So be careful when it comes to stuff like this over the counter markets. It can be brutal. There you go. How low we're going? Probably back down to like the $18,500 or so, somewhere around there. If we continue to have a drop like this, might get a little bit more nasty over the weekend here. Tomorrow looks like we may have another red day, but I don't think it'll be as drastic as today, hopefully. And I would say that maybe this weekend is going to just be a little bit more volatile than normal for Bitcoin. Really keep an eye on what's going on with the 4-hour chart. Currently trying to hold above the 200 here. If we start breaking down, then we have to start worrying about these support levels way down to here around 20,500. After that, 200 daily, the 50 and the 200 daily moving averages down here towards 19,000. I think though that if we just break down below this, it's going to be game over for a little bit, and we come back down here to this level of support around 18,000 to 19,000. That's what I'd personally want to buy. Or you could think about it in terms of if you want to add a Fibonacci extension tool on here. Can I delete this and delete this? There you go. Oh yeah, be fine. Between 19,896 and between 18,875, this would be an okay opportunity if you wanted to buy in right here. Personally, the way I'm thinking about this still is I'd probably want to buy it towards the lower end down here, because if we're breaking down below moving averages, boy oh boy, is that just going to be a painful experience for everybody involved. So right down here, if you're more optimistic, maybe you can try to say, hey, maybe we will only go down to there. This is actually 18,000. Never mind, it's not even better. So, maybe around 18,000. So, 18,500 to 19,000, usually my buying range on this one. Especially because the overall market seems to be facing some resistance as well, right? There's an opportunity for us to break down next week as far as the NASDAQ, opportunity for us to at least hit support over the next weekend as far as the S&P, but really it's just breaking down below the 20-day moving average here, which, again, hasn't been the most reliable level of support, right? Or resistance. But hopefully we can kind of, not freak out too much here. And you're also seeing the dollar up at a level of resistance. The dollar could easily break out next week, causing us to come back down a little bit, at least for 2 more weeks on top of that. So we're just not in a good spot. 18,000, 19,000 seems perfectly reasonable for a nice pullback after we've had such a really strong move down, right? Really, really strong move down. Do you think we can get above $22,000 for Bitcoin tomorrow? Yes, but I think it would probably happen very early morning. So it probably wouldn't happen in the afternoon unless the stock market was really having a pretty decent sideways day and not going down. Yes, we could hit $22,000 though. I would say though, just you would expect to see a bounce off of the 200 moving average on that 4-hour chart that we were just talking about a few seconds ago. No worries, Usman. Happy to help you out. NKLA. Weekly. Ooh. I mean, this one's getting hit hard, man. As far as long term, sure, I think this thing has a lot of potential for it. Still, you have to hope that it can still take some market share away from Tesla. I've owned some of this from around $5 or so, and I'm probably down about 50% right now. I'm still holding it. It's a long-term hold here. Worst things worse, I can take it as a loss someday, when I need to do taxes. But short term, let's see. Making some resistance, not having a good time, just breaking. Look, this is a whole bunch of sideways action here, right? You still have more downward momentum to go. I say it most likely comes back down here to at least 235 or so, a little bit above this level. From there, it might continue to track up a little bit more, especially since we don't know if the overall market's just going to crash or just kind of more likely go more sideways, maybe slightly down. But I would say if you want to buy this up a little bit more, you could probably expect to buy it around 235 to 240. It's already at 242, so I don't think that'd be horrible. But really, if it starts breaking back down below this level, then I think you see it come back down to $2.11, maybe even back all the way down to $2. From there, though, if we do start breaking down below this, be very, very careful because there's no telling how low we're going to go, especially as we kind of head into earnings here. Last few earnings have, well, actually just not been good, right? Beat. But again, the guidance has really just been killing this thing. So you can see right here, earnings still wasn't good. So even though they've been beating revenues, their guidance continually isn't that good. And you can see right here, the estimate is not very good for this one as well. And which means even if they beat, it most likely going to have really poor guidance going forward again. So just understand it, okay? But I would say right now, this is more of something I would just think of as a longer term hold. This isn't really something I'd really encourage people to try to swing trade. More of a longer term hold that I own, but I'm also down 50%. So understand that, this is definitely one of those plays where, like, the market cap was what, like 1.3 billion. I bought it when I was at a 3 billion market cap valuation or abouts. Definitely not profitable last time I remember. Yeah, definitely not profitable here. Still a huge short float. Maybe it could have a squeeze over the next few weeks or something like that. But usually when you see something like this, you'd want to buy some long-term calls that expire like 3 months out, really far up, like $6 strike price, $10 strike price, and then whatever that penny is, and then you just want to hold and hold and hold and hold. But that would be more of a gambling type of play than rather a technical analysis, right? So I would say be careful with this one though. Excuse me. Let's see. AGIX. Let's go over here very fast. Finance. Why is that the option here, I guess? Okay, well, BUSD, I guess we'll have to go with that one. This one isn't too bad. It looks like it actually just stopped at a pretty decent Fibonacci. Oh, it just opened up. That's why. Yeah, okay. AGIX. Market cap of 473 million, down 11% today. I mean, that's just because I had a really nice move, right? Hit right there. That resistance level you need to be worrying about right now is 58 cents, 58.5 cents. It's nowhere near that right now. I told it's even below 40 cents. So let's get rid of this stuff. Let's do a shorter term bounce, yeah. Barely trying to hold on to the 50 on the 4-hour chart. I would say if you can, try to see if you can buy this around 30 cents. I know it's at 40 cents right now, but I don't know if it's going to really try to hold this. It's a really big risk because it's not really, like, it's trying to hold up against this support level right now around 35.5 cents. Go back to the daily chart here. This thing can definitely come back down a few more days. Day trading, it might be an okay opportunity to buy right now, but if you want to swing this sucker, I might say just wait a little bit here and see if it comes back down here towards 30 cents. This thing has come up a lot. It doesn't really have the most massive of market cap, so if Bitcoin just goes down a little bit more tomorrow, this thing is probably going to tank all the way back down to below 30 cents. So you can see the 20-day moving average was no help whatsoever over here. So I'm not going to think that it's actually going to be any level of support for us at this point in time. Let me go over to the day. Let me see if I can find some of these. Anything there? No, there's nothing there. Any divergence? You have the divergence in the RSI. Not really much. The 4-hour might have a little bit more. No, not much here at all. Not many divergences. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. Whole suite. Still bullish right here. 2-hour, that must be a little bit different. Yeah, just turning over there, yeah. So you're starting to see some warning signs as far as this is concerned. It did break down below the support levels here, but it's still trying to hold. Maybe around 35 cents you could take an opening position if you really wanted to, but I'd be more optimistic around here, around 30 cents to around 25 cents. That's where I'd be looking to get the most bang out of for my buck. But again, I wouldn't be afraid of taking an initial position around 35 cents here just to kind of test the waters out. Not a lot of money though, because Bitcoin doesn't look like it's in the best position, nor does the regular market. Okay, hopefully there's some good news that can really gin us up, right? Let's see, is a good moon bag hold? Not right now. I would say if whenever it calms back down, I would say, yeah, give it an opportunity and do some dollar cost averaging. To me, dollar cost averaging is an okay opportunity for like an AI coin, so to speak. Do your own due diligence though. Actually see what they're doing. Make sure they have something really working, and then from there, a $300 million market cap, not too crazy to be investing at that point in time. Just make sure you've actually done some research on the company. Look at the white paper. Join their Discord, watch their Twitter, see what they're actually doing. And then you could start to see how much you actually want to invest in that type of company. Yes, just make sure you can buy it somewhere reputable, right? Like looks like you can buy it on Binance. Should be just fine. But yeah, dollar cost averaging, no more than a few $100 and have some fun with it. But definitely, don't try to go crazy with it. Definitely, dollar cost averaging. This is like a FOMO zone. This is like pure FOMO right now. Remember, just a few weeks ago, it was down at like 5 cents. Now it's at 40. It'll definitely come back down a little bit more. But usually when you have an opportunity to buy these suckers, yeah, you can buy them. You can slowly start to buy them up because you never know. One day this may be worth $40, $50, so it's still an okay opportunity to buy around 39 cents if you're thinking really, really long term. But dollar cost average, you never know if it's going to come back down here to 16 cents or even back down here to 10 cents. There's so many coins that look like this where they've had really good big earnings, and over time they're just somewhere way, way down here, and you're like, oh man, remember that day where it actually hit 40 cents? Now it's less than a penny. So, don't put too much money into it, but yeah, it could definitely be a good opportunity for a long-term hold. Just make sure to do the research beforehand, okay? Let's see. Hey, Ivan, you have to give me the ticker for it. You have to give me the ticker for Enphase. I don't know what the ticker is for it. But once you do, yeah, I'll help you out very fast, and that'll be the end of the stream here. But yeah, so be careful with stuff like this. Still worth investing, don't get me wrong, but you just want to make sure you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed, so to speak. We can pull this stuff back up. Let's bring up the smart money concepts and maybe the channels. We don't know the channels are kind of popping up with the same. Yeah, those smart money contracts. There you go. But, we're still holding up okay as far as Bitcoin's concerned right now. Still trying to bounce around the 200 here. Maybe if I were to move this over here, make that go to the 4-hour chart, I think we look at. Yeah, we're still trying to hold up against that support level right now, right? When we start breaking down below this, that's when you can start to be a little bit more worried as far as Bitcoin's concerned. And we can get rid of the whole suite here. We don't need that for now. Do you think Gala will hit new price discovery? I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't put much faith in that right now, at least. Like, I would own it for the long term, but again, it's kind of moved up so far right now that I don't even want to buy it. I would have to buy it again lower. So you're right, it did drop down about 4% today, back into that little bit of a support zone that we had seen a few days ago, actually a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago. Oh yeah, the trend changed over here. The trend already changed way up here. Getting more into a choppy zone. Cannot hold right there. Do I need to take this? Oh, this wasn't on properly. Never mind. Didn't hold right there either. Jeez. I guess we should go all the way back to the bottom, shouldn't we? Held there. Decent pivot here. Tried to hold there. This is more realistic. You might have an opportunity to buy kind of between, I would say, $201 and $196. What caused them to like? What was so bad about their guidance? That's what you had to find out. Ah, here we go. Outlook, Outlook. Okay. There wasn't anything really wrong with their earnings. Yeah, you're right. I'm guessing their guidance was just a little bit less than what the street expected. But even then, go to regular trading hours. Um, had a nice move up. Well, actually, let me go to the 15-minute chart. Let me go back to extended hours. Was this all after hours? After hours, open back up. Honestly, I think what just happened was the fact that, again, let's go back over here. I think it just comes back down to the fact that people are a little bit nervous about the market, and people use this opportunity as an excuse to get out of their position as we kind of headed up to a level of resistance. I think the overall health of the company is perfectly fine. What I read in that earnings report, so solid growth, rising expenses, but only because the growth is going up, so they need more people to kind of man the lines so for new products, new sales, and stuff like that. It didn't seem like there was a big problem there. So I would say like this is still a solid long-term hold if you wanted to continue it. But it looks like the overall market is just kind of dictating which way this thing goes at this point in time because perhaps people don't see it as necessarily the growth going to be as blockbuster as we just had. It's just going to continue to slow down a little bit. And that's what the concern is. They're still going to be growing a lot, but just not as fast as I think the market was expecting. Because overall, that was a really good quarter they just had. The quarter coming up, sure, things may slow down a little bit, but I still think they're going to be looking very, very solid. They're going to be making a lot of money, and I still think it sounds like a good company. I mean, everything in that call from what they said still seemed to be perfectly fine. Even towards the end when they talked about guidance, I didn't see much there that would kind of worry me. Besides the fact that it looks like maybe the streets thought it was not going to be, the street thought it might be a little bit better guidance for the future. Let's see. I know always can have a good night, my man. I have not seen the new Ohio law, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I mean, Ohio has its own stigma these days for some reason. Every time I turn on TikTok in Ohio is some weird song playing in the background of every TikTok. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of scammers on eBay, so I kind of like the fact that they had an ID on it. I just hope they don't try to tax people for selling $500 worth of stuff, if that makes sense. But we'll have to see. Yeah, no worries. I have been happy to help. Everything looks really solid. The transcript looks fine. I guess the street was just expecting a better guidance. But I mean, long term, this thing still seems solid. I mean, just go back to the monthly chart here. Just understand it is at a relatively high position. It might have to catch up to some of these other things that have fallen down over the past few years, past few months. Okay, I think that's basically what it comes down to. It's overvalued, and that's a good thing. But again, just back here in 2017 is at 70 cents. Probably had a split somewhere in here. It's still 63%. Okay, maybe that's a big drop. It's still pretty far away. It's still pretty close to all-time highs relative to everything else, right? Still relative. It's still pretty close to all-time highs. Go back to the daily chart. I might be okay buying more if it comes back down to 175 down the road. But even now, it still seems like a good opportunity if you wanted to buy some long-term ones of dollar cost average. If there was ever a stock I'd say dollar cost averaging, this is probably one of those good ones because, again, it sounds like it has a good cash flow. Guidance, sure, a little bit disappointing. But again, everything is slowing down. You're going to see this happen with even the good companies. But as long as it's profitable, eventually, as you dollar cost average or just hold a position, you're still going to be looking just fine. There's no reason to take a loss on this if you're thinking about holding this for the long term, okay? Now, if it starts to crash, you start to worry about it, sure, you can sell it off. But when you see a company like this, I think they should be fine. But do a deeper dive into their Q3 results, like go into the paperwork, the PDF files, and see what you got. So I think it should be fine, though, over the next few months at least. The stock might kind of go a little bit more sideways, but you've already seen it over the past few months. At least try to slow down some of that movement. But okay, everybody, it was nice chatting with you guys for a couple hours. The market overall does not look as good as we want it to, but we still have an opportunity for tomorrow to at least go more sideways. And I think right now, sideways is as good as we can really hope for. And that means Bitcoin can still get back up towards around 22,500 or so. But we're going to have to see a